In 2015, Justin Jackson proved himself to be a hot commodity on offense for the Wildcats. He caught 21 passes just a year ago and rushed over 1,400 yards last season, a workhorse for the Northwestern offense that was a deciding factor in whether or not the Wildcats would win or lose games on Saturdays. We hear now from offensive coordinator Mick McCall to find out what Jackson's workload could look like this season.
He's a guy that is the first guy in, last guy to leave. One of those type of individuals that comes to practice every day ready to go. But the other part of it is there's little things that he's got to get better at too, and he's really taken ownership. Like pass pro, he's really taken ownership about stepping up in the hole and taking on a linebacker. All those things that have happened with him. He's still very, very good with the ball in his hands. He's gotten stronger, a little bit bigger. That's going to help him time and time again. And he can still shake some people down. So we're excited to get the ball to him. I think the ability for us to get the ball out in space and spread it out a little bit more is going to create more space for Justin Jackson.
Here's a look at Justin Jackson by the numbers. He has a total of 2,531 career rushing yards. That ranks him at 6th in school history. 37.2% of the team's total scrimmage yards belonged to him last season also. For more, let's kick it back out to the Wildcats practice field with Dave and Gerry.
Happy to be joined now by Northwestern quarterback Clayton Thorson, running back Justin Jackson. Clayton, I'm going to start with you because there's a lot of focus on where this team can improve this year, and I think you would be among the first to say you have to be more dynamic offensively than you were a year ago. But truth be told, you were thrown into the fire last season. You haven't played a game now in roughly 8 months. Where do you think you've made the biggest improvement in that time?
I think first and foremost, just becoming the quarterback for this team. Last year, me, Matt, and Zach were kind of battling for the job, and so I was kind of thrown in there, like you said. But I think this year I've really become the quarterback, become a leader on and off the field, and I think that's starting to show in camp. And our offense is starting to click a little bit. It's easy when you can hand the ball off to Justin, but we'd like to do that a little less, take a little off his body. But I've really tried to do that, really become the quarterback for this team. I think that's improved.
Justin, where have you seen the greatest growth in this offense from a year ago?
Yeah, like Clayton said, he just seems a lot more confident out there. He's firing on all cylinders. Our receivers are making more plays. And I think our O-line's a little more experienced. We got a lot of guys coming back. So, we're just full speed ahead. We're, foot on the pedal, and we're really trying to take over for this team because we put too much pressure on our defense last year. So we want to go out there and make more plays this year.
How about some of the young guys that have impressed you in camp?
I think all of our receivers have really impressed me. Guys like Marcus, who moved over, who I guess is a young guy on offense. Right. He's been really impressive. But other guys are starting to come into their roles. Charlie Fessler, John Moten is a running back, is doing well. Garrett Dixon is doing really well coming into that role, filling that void for Dan, which is a big hole. But he's picking up right where he left off.
And Justin, Clayton was mentioning the need perhaps to lessen the burden somewhat on you. I mean, in the regular season last year, you had more carries than any back in the country. You mentioned Moten. Give us a sense of the other running backs and what you've seen from them.
Yeah, we got a really deep room. I'm really proud to be a part of this room. We got Warren Long, obviously John, who's been mentioned. We got Chad, who's been out here doing a great job, Austin Anderson. So we even got young guys that have been stepping in doing good too. So we have a lot of depth. We got guys that are really good at different things, and it makes us really versatile. But we're all competing for carries, and that's how it should be, and it makes us all better. So it's been a really fun camp so far.
Clayton, how do you become more explosive as an offense?
We got to start by taking some shots. We got some guys who can really play, a lot of weapons, I think, on offense. And we've seen that this camp. We've taken a little bit off Justin's plate, and I think that Justin's explosive runs start with us. Opening up the pass plays a little bit, throwing it down the field. And that opens up the run, and vice versa. Get a little play action pass in there. Just having a balanced offense and then taking our shots when they happen. They're not going to happen every play, but we got to take them when we have them.